Hello everyone, my name is Valdrin here and I'm the senior analyst for Being Crypto. So today with me as always we have Konstantin, who is our global trader, and also Ankit, who is our community manager and our trader. So today is going to be sort of a continuation of last week's webinar. So we're going to talk about the crypto market and if prices are going to continue to fall. Since after that sharp decrease, now we have another weekly close. So this makes it, this gives us slightly more information where we can continue and try and predict what will happen to the market. So I will share my screen. Okay. So yeah, basically last week we had a slight bounce, however, that was not sufficient to invalidate the previous bearish engulfing candlestick. So basically what I mean by that is that this is the bearish candlestick, right? And even though we did have a significant bounce last week, like we would have needed to close above 30k 300 in order for us to invalidate that bearish candlestick. So that wasn't the case. So in my opinion, this is a sort of a bearish continuation pattern because all we did is we made a lower high. We failed to negate the previous decreases because this candle is completely engulfed in the body of this bearish candlestick. And also, I mean, the way I see the move just served to retest this area here. Now, whenever there are so many wicks, it's really difficult to actually pinpoint the exact resistance area. So I'm trying to use the closes here because there are numerous closes here. So I guess this kind of makes sense. And it also captures the wicks down here. And yeah, so if you look at it this way, then the movement in April was just a deviation above this resistance area. Then we had this massive bearish candlestick. Then we had a retest of this area and the validation as resistance, sorry. And now we're actually moving downward. The only thing to me which kind of puts this into doubt is the RSI, which, I mean, it's still above 50 and increasing. However, if we look at it from this perspective, meaning that the price has broken out from a long-term resistance line, validated it as support afterward, then it would be very possible for the price to like fall a little here and the RSI to fall and retest the 50 line. So basically this would just be a temporary medium-term correction that goes on for maybe a couple of months, maybe 1 month, several weeks, after which the price eventually bounces again. So this would not lead to a full-blown bearish reversal. It would just lead to a not minor, but not like bear market, just a pretty significant correction, which honestly makes sense because besides this period here, we have not corrected at all since the upward movement began. So basically, we've had 2 weeks of corrective movement and 100% decrease over 140 days. And yeah, just using a fib here, 23.1, 24.8, and 21.3. So this would be my 3 fib levels. And I think this is also supported by the daily time frame movement. So basically in the daily time frame, now I can't really pinpoint this pattern here. It could be a channel, but the resistance line doesn't get touched. So that makes less sense if you look at it this way. But the midline gets touched numerous times, and I guess the midline can act as resistance. And the price is again falling. Wait, sorry. Can you still hear me? Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, so yeah, I guess the midline can serve as resistance. However, either way you look at it, this is the lower high. So decrease lower high, and then if we lose this trend line, we probably get a drop. And this is also seen in the daily RSI, which gives a bearish divergence at the highs. And finally, if we do look at the potential price pattern created, we do have a head and shoulders. Now, honestly, I really hate to visualize head and shoulder patterns before they're completed, because like this does look like a shoulder here, but ideally I just like to wait until it basically crashes here and goes something like this, or just breaks the midline and then does this. But since it does really fit well with the other readings, I guess I'm going out on a limb here and calling it that it's gonna make head and shoulders. And what I found interesting about this is that if we measure the pattern's height and project it to the breakdown level, I think we get to exactly the zero point 0.5 fib. Not exactly, but extremely close. Basically, we get to 23.3, and the 0.5 is 23.2. And like I always love to try and find confluences, so I guess this could like be a decent level for a potential bottom. And okay, actually it wouldn't fit with this channel that well, so never mind this channel. But yeah, these are my thoughts on Bitcoin's price action over the next few weeks, I guess. And yeah, so I'll pass it over to Konstantin now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Valdrin. I have a very similar view on Bitcoin right now. I'm just gonna share my screen here and show you what I mean. So basically, what happened last time was that we had this possibility of a bullish bounce of the 50-day EMA, which actually happened. Was a little bit surprising because we bounced off really badly, but then retraced down to it again. But then again, we bounced off strongly. So this was a bullish sign, but it was really important to break the golden ratio resistance roughly at 30,000, which didn't happen. So, and since that didn't happen, I'm really bearish on Bitcoin now. So what you just showed us with the head and shoulders pattern makes a lot of sense to me, that we will just come down as fast as we came up here. So you see, we had like a couple of days where we really surged by a lot, and I think we probably see some symmetry here. So we will probably crash down as fast as we got up. And the main targets here, obviously, we still have to break the 50-day EMA support once again. And also we have some golden ratio support still here at the 28 range here. So this is the key level here for me to monitor right now. Once we break that level between 27,700 and 28, we probably go down to 25,000, and then also probably to 20,900. Now, that doesn't mean that I think we will continue a downward trend, because we shouldn't forget that we are in a pretty decent upward movement for past few months. And for me, this upward movement remains valid as long as we stay above the golden ratio here at roughly 20,900. So we still have that bullish momentum. I mean, we had 4 bullish months in a row, and a new month starts bearishly, but even May could soon come back to more upward movement. So for me, this is pretty natural. It's not a really bearish sign. It's just a bearish sign in the short term. We also invalidated the death cross in a weekly chart, replaced it with a golden crossover. So we are also bullishly confirmed in the midterm once again. So this looks pretty pretty good to me in the midterm still. So short term, I think this is a pretty good short opportunity actually, because we have around 12 to 26% downward movement. We did a lower high, so this really looks bad. So this rejection at the golden ratio looks really bad in the short term. So I'm happy to short Bitcoin in the short term for sure. MACD also signals continuation of the downward trend. So yeah, that's basically what happened here, and we will see how long it will take to complete this correction. I would just continue with Ethereum, which is in a pretty similar situation right now because it also bounced off the 50-day EMA support and then basically surged to the next FIB resistance where it faced major rejection. So now we are back at the 50-day EMA support once again. And yeah, we could still bounce and repeat that, what just happened, but as long as we don't break that golden ratio resistance here at roughly 2000, the correction remains valid. So probably heading lower. So from here, once we break that support level, 50-day EMA could drop at least 10% until we reach the next FIB support. And then we are also here in a very similar situation in terms of the next golden ratio support, because Ethereum is still in a midterm bullish movement. And as long as we stay above the golden ratio here at roughly 1,320, this midterm upward movement remains valid. So we could still see some more upward movement in the midterm. Short term, I think pretty good opportunity to short. And then we will see if we bounce off the support. If we break that golden ratio support, that's now true for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think we'll probably see lower lows, like a pretty bad continuation of the downward trend. Once it's getting worse than it has been here in June, so basically last summer, it can get worse really badly very quickly. So then we could see very low prices, which would be amazing for everybody who's using the opportunity, of course, because in the midterm we don't really have a bullish trend reversal yet. We didn't touch the golden ratio resistance at 3,400, which is necessary in order to complete this whole bear cycle, because once we break that, we can go back to the all-time high and then go for a new all-time high. So I would say we're still pretty close to a bullish trend reversal, but just not there yet. And for now, it seems like we're heading towards correction. So next, I would like to cover is just the total crypto market in general, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. We basically got almost rejected at the FIB resistance here, but you can see we missed it by a very small percentage. Actually, let me just put that here into perspective. It's roughly 1% that we missed the golden the 0.382 FIB resistance, but then we also had this major bearish engulfing. Well, it's not fully engulfing candle actually, but it's still a massive bearish candle. And then the crypto market basically also found support at a 50-week EMA. It's still there actually, and you can see it held successfully as support for a couple of times now, but this week really starts off bearishly, so not sure if it will continue to hold. And then we could definitely also drop by around 7 to 20%. But then again, you can see the crypto market is in a massive upward movement since the new year started. And because of that, we remain bullish as long as we stay above the golden ratio support at roughly 915 billion US dollar. So just monitor that. Once we break that level, I'm really pessimistic on the crypto market as a whole. But as long as we stay above that level and bounce off it, I think we probably head towards the the major golden ratio resistance in the midterm, that would be at roughly 2.2 trillion US dollar. Once we break that level, I think the crypto markets is in a new bull cycle, and then we could definitely see new all-time highs. So it's a pretty tough market right now, especially as it's not moving as fast as it's used to do. But yeah, we have to wait for reaching those key levels. Basically, market has to reach those key levels. So yeah, that's about everything I wanted to say about total market, Ethereum, Bitcoin. So now I will just pass it to Ankit so he can share his thoughts on that.
Yeah, thanks, Konstantin. I mean, my thoughts aren't very different from you and Waldron's, and since you have already basically shown everything on BTC and Ethereum, so I don't know what more to add to it. But just for the sake of perspective, I would like to share my screen for to show my charts. Basically, I guess you can see my screen now. So, like you guys have rightly mentioned that BTC is likely to be correcting short in the short term. We have some rejection from this weekly level resistance and the last weekly candle, this one, uh, the only candle that is green here or white in this scenario in 30th May 22. So the weekly closing was above that, and if the price had to move in the upward direction, this level was the level to be held around 29.5k, and we should have broken out by now if there was any chance of a bullish reversal or maybe we getting into a full blown bull market. This level had to be held, and it wasn't the case. And we had talked about in the last stream also that this might correct, but due to the main reason for the selling that happened and this abrupt bounce that happened was the low liquidity, and it was basically based on that news that empty gox and people are selling and US government is trying to sell BTC. So that was the thing that triggered that uh, that fall in price, and this daily candle was actually brutal for the day traders because we didn't have any, you know, BTC can go as low and as high as possible to just uh, make the high leverage traders pay here. So that is what BTC is doing right now. And speaking on the daily time frame, technically we are still at this support level, which was treated as resistance countless times here. I mean, for a full week or more than that, it was resistance here and still at support, and it's 50. I guess this is 50 MA level. So yes, I mean it should be correcting. I have some lower time frame stuff that I had marked out. Okay, let me clear this one third. So this is kind of a supposed to be a bullish pennant because the prices come from the downsides, and it's making a triangle of sorts I've just made. But because I'm not taking it as a pennant, I'm taking it as a short term trend line support here, which needs to be broken for to confirm this bearish scenario. So in on the 8-hour time frame. So I think the support has been broken, which it was here also, but the price had uh, drastic moves here, again due to the low liquidity. So I guess for any trigger point, I would be looking at something like this to happen, and this target is pretty lenient, I guess, because this is the only target that seems viable to me. The first as a first target, this is the only thing that seems viable to me because it is the confluence of weekly and monthly support levels here. So I guess if BTC break this green box support, which is at around 27K, if BTC loses this 27K level at this time frame, I would be looking to short it and take it to at least 24.5, 25K, 24.5. Yes, that's the level I would be looking in the short term. And if that also breaks, because since if we look at this time frame, and this was the, if I mark it out as a deviation of sorts, which BTC had given. So breaking this level down would be very bearish for BTC in my opinion, because firstly it is a high time frame level, weekly and monthly, and after giving a deviation above, this has had to be a confirmed break above the resistance, but the price hasn't materialized above the next weekly level, and breaking that support level again at 24K is going to trigger some serious shorting, in my opinion. Can take BTC to 20K. Uh, Obviously, there are some mid levels in the short terms at this time frame, but if we see that on the daily time frame, I mean, doesn't have much in terms of support after this support is lost. I mean, this can be a support 21.5K, or I mean, 20K is a very, very plausible area where BTC can land, and we can see some ranging, and again, the boring market will continue, in my opinion. Uh, so we can see some ranging like this range we had before. It can range probably up to a month, 2 months. It, it's going to be a very boring market if if that sort of scenario happened, and if this support at 24.3K isn't holding the price for the bulls on. Okay, so those are basically my thoughts on BTC. Again, not too different from the last live stream. And for Ethereum, yeah, basically the same stuff. We had a false breakout from the weekly level, and currently showing weakness. Again, 1677 is the level to watch, which is the monthly level for Ethereum, and basically it can still be bullish in 1400. So maybe if till this support is held, I would still consider it bullish. If this support is gone now, then is the reason main reason to worry for Ethereum, and that's around 1200, 1300 level. But it is the monthly time frame, so it can take a while to reach there, and we still haven't broken down the monthly support here, which is at 1677. So the first trigger point should be on this level. If I have to make something of it, I mean, if we break this monthly level, close it down, this should be the area, and I can take it to this level. So that would be the trigger point for Ethereum on the monthly level. Uh, the weekly level is obviously pretty self-explanatory at this point. We have to just break this monthly level and we can see some correction around. I mean, if this is the level to be taken, okay, that would be the next best thing that can support Ethereum, which is around 1500 or 1400 level, mid 1400s, 1500 level, which the level to be supported for Ethereum, in my opinion, and we shouldn't see any more correction from there. But I mean, this is the level. This is the level should be held at this time frame. If or otherwise, it will start looking very bad, and we can see a longer correction. But that's I don't expect that right now. So yeah, the RSI is still above 50, and will take some time to get into this that kind of scenario. The daily level, okay, what I have made here. Let me remove that. I mean, there are countless things. If I go into shorter and shorter time frames, so I won't bore you with that. Basically, the main thoughts are BTC and Ethereum are looking for a correction, and BTC short time frame, short term targets are 24.3, 21.5, and the third would be around 20K level, 20,500, 20,400 level, which should be watched. For Ethereum, it is 1677, and then the mid 1400s. That's the two levels, main levels for BTC and Ethereum to watch out for. And the total market cap has, I mean, excluding BTC for alts, is taking correction. There is a hidden bearish divergence here on the weekly time frame. So, I mean, people calling out for all season. Uh, we'll have to wait for it because this level, which was a resistance level, which is around 675 billion USD. So that has to be broken out for alts to really start jumping into new highs or making some very, very good bounces there for alts. So till then, till that happens, I mean, we can still range here, right? And with BTC and Ethereum not showing that much of a promise right now, or might lag a little bit, or there can be obviously exceptions to uh, exception in alts that make some good profits and make some good bounces when BTC kind of ranges at one point. But calling out for all season is not the this is not that time for that. Also, BTC dominance is at resistance again, so there can be, as I said, there can be some exceptions to alts that show some good bounces, and this is the range for uh, BTC dominance, which was there, and BTC has tested it, and it is kind of the last weekly candle is kind of a doji. I really don't want to read too much into the things, but we are showing some weakness here also. So I guess BTC dominance is if kind of falls from here. Some of the alts can do some, good pumps, but very not very likely that that happens. So in the to speak on dominance, I would say 0.55 level is the level that can be monitored, or we can look at, yeah, this level. I mean, this is the level which 0.618 and zero point 0.5 level, which is the golden ratio support, should be held here for BTC, and we can see uh, BTC dominance rising again from there. But till then, uh, it's going to be very boring market, I'm afraid. Uh, so yeah, those are my thoughts on BTC and Ethereum for now and the market condition. So over to you guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ankit. So we just reached 30 minutes, so I guess we'll just wait for any questions you guys might have so we can answer them. And if not, then we will end the webinar. So since there are no questions, thanks to everyone who joined and watched, and we will see you in our next section. So have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you guys. Take care.
Yeah, guys.
Bye.